Situation now, as far as college and life? Where are you now after graduating from Union City?
Well, like I said before, I got enrolled to Rutgers, Newark. I went to school for the first 2 semesters. I took a semester break just because financially it's not easy for me. Education wise, it's all fine. With everything I learned from high school, but due to the circumstances of my family's income and their status background as well as mine, financial aid is a bit of a struggle sometimes. So I decided to take the semester off and just work, save up money, hopefully to have the next semester and the next 2 years easier for me to finish school and go on in my career in the criminal justice field.
What was your family situation like when you were in high school? Were you in the same situation as you are now?
During high school, it was actually a little better, because my dad had a steady job, and my dad wasn't a resident yet while I was in high school, so that's interesting because once he became a resident towards senior year of high school, he unfortunately lost his job and he couldn't get a steady job, because he doesn't really have a license to be an electrician, and it's hard for him. So now we're kind of struggling a lot more, which is the reason why I took the semester off, so I could just pay off school myself and don't let my family get in more depth trying to help me out.
Did Union City help you out in that situation? I'm assuming, well, I'm not assuming, I went to school too, but there's a lot of kids from Union City that their parents aren't necessarily financially stable. Do you feel Union City geared their education to help that, or do you think that's just a non-factor when it comes to the education system in Union City?
They gave me to take in consideration to go to community school first, and now thinking of it, I should have done that first, because I would have saved a lot more money into going to Rutgers. But they gave me that opportunity to help me out, and due to my grades and all that, I would have been in something called a STARS program, something that the top 10% of the school gets to go to the community colleges.
So Union City did open this up for you. They did inform you about this, and they try to get you through these programs that help Latin American students.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a lot of that. I remember, in the hallways, they would even say, are you enrolled, or you need help with enrolling, come see your guidance counselor, or see a certain teacher, They were always pushing it throughout all the senior year, And, me, being young, I was trying to enjoy the senior life, I just enrolled to Rutgers, and that's the school I told myself I was going to go to. But, I didn't take in consideration financially, which, I would have recommended myself if I visited the time traveled or something.
Overall, what do you think is Union City's central goal when it comes to teaching students in your situation and from your background? What's they emphasize and how do they get through that and how are they so successful with it?
I feel like what they emphasize is just pushing you to the limit. If you think you could do up to a certain level, they'll push you to the next level. And once you get to that level, they keep pushing you, because they know, they see that everybody has a potential to succeed, to be a good student, to excel at a certain subject, even if they're bad in another, That's what they kept pushing, that they're always there to help, because, they just want us to succeed. And, personally, I feel that's what Union City did for me. Kept pushing me, my English got better, my writings got better, I know my history, I know my science, I know my math, I know, getting into college, I knew everything I had to know, plus more.